This is the fourth and last part of the water-based video. We're at this stage now. First stage was sand, second water, third colored water. Now it's time for the waves. Hello, this is 60 Goblins and one brush, and today will be the fourth and last part of the water texture video, water-based video. In the first video we made the base and we dry brushed the base and we already glued on the shell. Second video we glued on some corals and seaweed and whatever. I will also make a video soon about how to make fish for larger bases like Leviathan and Alopex. And now the second stage was after the coral to put on water texture base without color. Then the third step was to put on a second layer of water texture with color. I used ethermatic blue, just a little bit. If in doubt, use less rather than more. Now I will use this model because the other one is not dried yet. It takes about a week for that much water texture to dry and harden and become totally transparent. Okay, now you see it's a little bit wavy already, but not so much anymore. It evened out a little bit by gravity. Now you take your toothpick again, and like with the sand, you can make waves with it. You can also use a sculpting tool, of course. So I will use, you can use either colored or non-colored water texture gel, doesn't matter. I will use the colored one because I still have some left. And I will dab it on. Pull it up a little bit so that it gets as spiky as possible. Like this. Okay, maybe a few waves too many. Let's see how it looks like dried. Okay, now this has cured, dried, hardened overnight. You see it's quite nice, ripply. Looks very much like some kind of tropical, shallow, clear beach water, which is exactly what it should look like. And if you dry brush, there is the chance that you mess up the whole thing because you dry brush too much. So I will use Corax White for this and then just accentuate the lines a little bit. You can also, if you like, you can mix it a little bit with Lamian medium if you don't want it totally opaque, the white, or contrast medium. Try to make the lines as thin as possible and really go only on the raised parts. Otherwise it looks artificial. I used now a little bit of contrast medium together with the Corax White. The whiter the better. Alright, as you can see, this result is not satisfying. It doesn't look natural because the waves were not high enough, so that it was very difficult to highlight them. So there's too much white and too thick. It looks like they are just painted on, as if there would be no waves in actual fact. I have never used this kind of water texture before for creating waves, and now I can see that it didn't work. So we have to start from the beginning. I thought about deleting the whole first part of the video, but I thought it's still something to learn from it. So I left most of it, and now I will start with how it really works. I stripped off most of the white paint with brush cleaner, and now we start again with both models from the beginning. So what we did so far, it will take a few more days to dry. Maybe 4 more days, so it's still not transparent, but it looks quite promising. And on this one I had to redo the surface. It's never good to do this in a hurry. I wanted to finish the video, the fourth part, as quickly as possible to get it out to you as soon as possible. But since I'm always trying out new props, I didn't know that the AK water gel, just as the Mod Podge, it will not build waves that really have crests. Will only have very mellow waves, which we can't use for highlighting. So it didn't look good. A little bit better is the Vallejo water texture or the water effects gel, which has a wave effect anyway, but also not so great. Now, the only ones that you could really raise up to build crests were either the GSW World Splash Gel, because you can simulate splashes. It's much more dense and much more sticky. It's not so liquid. This is very good. If you don't have that, you can take any of the other, wait for half an hour, then it will already start curing and drying and getting more dense and sticky, and then you can raise it up with your sculpting tool or your toothbrush, yeah? Wait a little, 20 to 30 minutes, then it will start drying already, and then you can pull it up. Otherwise, if you want to build really high waves, you have to use cotton wool or toilet paper or something. Yeah, we'll do that in another video. By the way, I used some of the extra light blue water gel on here on my thralls, and looks quite good. It was already painted in different shades of blue, and then I just slapped on a little bit of the extra gel and it looks quite nice. Okay, now we have to start again. One mistake, apart from being too impatient and going too fast, was that I made too many waves. For this small base we don't need like 10 or 20 waves. Like 5 or 6 are enough. So now we'll take the splash gel. If you don't have the GSW World Splash Gel, just take any other gel, but let it dry a little bit and then use it, or put it on and then after 20 or 30 minutes pull it up with a toothpick. Okay, that's what I will do now. You see here, that's the splash gel of GSW World. It's very sticky, so it will not drop. That's what we need, but not too much, unless you do want to build really high waves. You can build it up. You see here from the side how it sticks out, quite nice. I guess that's high enough. Then another wave, and then we let it dry for about 2 hours. Will not take more than about 2 hours, and then we can paint the crest of the waves with white or a diluted white, because I've seen in other videos people recommend to mix white into the water texture of the waves. I do not recommend that, because then they will be really white. And not all of the wave. If you look at real waves, only the top part is white, not the whole wave. I think that's enough now. Yeah, these are 5 waves. Yeah, it's quite nice how it sticks up. Looks really great. So once again, I have to recommend GSW World. They have amazing products and they usually work really well. Of course, you need a little bit of practice. I recommend to practice on something else that has not such a high value. For example, a palette. Yeah, just see what the material does before you use it. There's also another thing that some people recommend, the Vallejo foam, water texture foam. I do not recommend it. It's as opaque as white color. If you mix a little bit in, the whole thing will be completely white. I tried it out. The consistency is very nice, but it's completely white, completely opaque, and half a drop is already maximum dosage. So now we let it dry, and then we accentuate the tips in white, and then we have our nice waves. We can already do it here as well, but we won't see as much. You can also, of course, you can mix this with blue. Why not? And then paint the crests white. We'll try that on this one here. So I mixed in a little bit of Ethermatic blue. You see it has a light blue tinge. And we do the same here. You can do this, of course, already, even if the rest is not completely cured. Here, if something is sticking out like the coral, then of course you have to build some waves up around the coral as well, because that's where they would break, like on a reef. Of course, usually corals don't stick out, but who cares? Do you know that corals are animals? Pretty weird. Animals who can't walk or move. Okay, like this. It's very sticky, so this is beautiful. Okay, let's let it dry and see you in 2 hours. Okay, now it's dry. You see here, this looks quite nice. Already transparent. And here on this model, I tried out to color the waves. That looks a bit weird, so I recommend not to color the waves. It's enough if the ground is blue. Then you take a detail brush as thin as possible. Watch my brush video if you like, about 5 things you need to know about brushes. Then some white color. And then only color in the very tips and tops here. Only the most raised parts. Not too much. That's enough. Only the raised parts. I'll show you a photo. You can't see it on the picture very well. Here you can see it a little bit. Okay. Now the other one. Let's see. Same thing. And here as well. Okay, that's it. Let's look at some pictures. Here I slapped on some of the water texture colored on the Nematithralls, which looks quite nice. Then here the waves not dry yet. Here the waves dry and painted white crests. And here you see if you don't color the waves, it looks much better. Okay. Lastly, of course, the last step you can do is paint the rim black. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and see you very soon. Please leave your comments below. I read all of them and answer all of them.